The ocean stretched endlessly in all directions, a deep blue canvas hiding secrets far beneath its surface. On its restless waves rode a trawler unlike any ordinary vessel, a ship designed for one singular purpose: to capture giants. These were not fish by ordinary standards, but massive, muscular beasts of the deep, elusive and powerful, the kind that bend steel hooks and snap heavy lines. And yet, human ingenuity had devised a way to take them from their watery world by the ton, the trawl net. Beneath the ship, a monstrous net was lowered, large enough to swallow houses whole, dragged along the seafloor or through the midwater column. Depending on the quarry, each deployment was an act of ambition and calculated risk. For the deeper the net went, the greater the pressure, the more the odds turned against the crew. But these fishermen were used to odds. Many of them had grown up with salt in their veins, learning the sea's rhythms before they could even write their names. The giants they pursued weren't just catchers, they were legends. Challenges, triumphs waiting to be earned. The engines roared as the trawl doors flared open, spreading the net wide into a gaping funnel. Like wings made of iron, they guided the net's mouth through the water, corralling anything in its path. Sonar screens flickered on the bridge, mapping schools of fish in eerie green silhouettes. The captain's eyes narrowed as he read the data, maneuvering the ship with precision. Down in the stern, the crew stood ready, the smell of diesel, fish, and salt thick in the air. Each man anticipating the moment when the ocean would relinquish its hidden colossus. Hours passed. The net dragged slowly, kilometers behind the boat. The crew could feel the weight increasing. Subtly at first, then unmistakably. Giant fish, tuna the size of grown men, groupers like moving boulders, and mythical-looking creatures with jaws lined in teeth, were being funneled into the cod end. That final chamber where the net pinches tight, where escape is no longer possible. The tension in the cables began to grow. On deck, men adjusted pulleys and winches, checking every connection. Even a minor fault under this kind of strain could prove catastrophic. At last came the signal. The trawl net had reached capacity. Slowly, methodically, the massive net was hauled in, rising from the dark like a creature born of the abyss. Water gushed from the mesh as it surfaced, the sea itself groaning at the weight being pulled from its belly. Cameras rolled. Even hardened crew members paused in awe as they glimpsed the heaving, shimmering mass of life now twisting just beneath the surface. Giant fins slapped the air. Scales flashed like armor. It was a breathtaking spectacle, chaotic, powerful, and utterly raw. The crane moved into position. With hydraulic strength, it lifted the cod end high over the deck, then released its contents into the fish hold. What followed was a thunderous rush, tons of fish, each one massive, tumbling onto steel. Crew members with hooks and gloves worked feverishly, sorting the giants by species. Size and condition. Some of the fish were destined for fresh markets, others for freezing, and still others for processing into fillets, steaks, and exports that would feed cities thousands of miles away. Every detail mattered. The time between net retrieval and processing had to be minimized to preserve quality. Ice was shoveled by the ton. Machines buzzed and whirred. Knives flashed with practiced precision as fish were gutted and cleaned, their immense size requiring strength and skill to manage. Yet in all the frenzy, there was respect, a silent acknowledgement of the mighty creatures that had been taken from the sea. The deck, once gleaming under the morning sun, now ran with water and blood, but the men kept moving. There was no room for fatigue. Another net would be cast within the hour. Another haul awaited. This was the rhythm of their lives, rough, relentless, and ruled by the sea. As dusk fell, the ship rocked gently in deeper waters. The wind had picked up, and dark clouds gathered on the horizon. Still, the crew readied the net again, repairing mesh, checking cables, resetting sensors. Each man had his role, each knot tied, each bolt tightened could be the difference between a successful haul and a catastrophic loss. The stakes were always high, for the sea gave much but took just as often. Sometimes, it wasn't just fish that came up in the net. Ancient sea turtles, monstrous rays, even sharks occasionally found their way into the cod end. These moments tested the crew's experience and ethics.